Hi everyone. Sorry about the other day. A couple of days ago I created a YouTube video and I didn't realize that the mic wasn't working. It was internally muted. So I recorded a 20-minute video talking about the market topping out and it had no sound. So that's why I quickly jumped on and just did a quick summary because I knew it was about to turn, just to give you guys a heads up. Because when I originally remember this market turning here, now that drop. And then I talked about in this video here that I'd bought the bottom and that I was exiting in the zag zone here, which is what I was doing here, and I had quite a good account growth on there. But then I thought that was going to be the bottom. However, what I was talking about in that video was that as more data came out, I realized that it's not, and that we're actually going to roll over again. And I'm just going to explain what I was seeing and why I realized that, because at the time I thought this was the bottom. And then as obviously we bounced and we went up, there was a lot of signals saying that, oh, this is not the bottom and that we're going to have another leg down and either double bottom or take out the new lows. And I'll just explain that now in this video. So sorry it wasn't, but yeah, as you know, I'm in Canada right now, so I'm a little bit out of whack with timings and stuff like that. But this was the video here. So it was, the 18th. So it was two days ago. And this is what I'd said. I thought I'd upload a new YouTube video in crypto, but realized the audio didn't record, so I had to delete it. Here's a quick summary before I get going. I'm seeing strong signs of another leg down in the market. Watch out for potential double bottom or new lows in altcoins. Be careful with these long positions. I've taken profit on most longs. So I'd gotten out of all my ones because I'd realized that actually this is looking like a pretty decent top, to be honest. And until, again, more data comes out, it could be a decent top or it could just be a small. So I don't know which one it is. So I'm just going to play it safe for now until I get more confirmation around that. Okay, and then obviously yes, we then have now come down, and now we're at this double bottom phase. So this is what I talked about, is that we've got the double bottom. Do we bottom here or do we get another leg down? I actually think we're not going to double bottom here, but I'll show you the key levels I'm looking for if we do. And I'll just explain why I think there is actually still potentially further downside unless the reactive data changes and shows me a major reversal. Okay, so looking at Bitcoin here, you can see that we're in this upward channel right now, and it's going up on bearish divergence volume and momentum here. Okay, so if we fall out of this channel, that would be a bit of a worrying sign, which I actually think it will. So if we fall out of this channel, then break below this 95,000, I think you'll get a pretty rapid sell-off down to these kind of 80s. So yeah, that's kind of the zone that I'm looking at. I have got a short on there. As I showed you guys with the link trade, I got stopped out on a 40-to-1 trade. It would have been fantastic, but I at least have got my Bitcoin short open, so I'll just show you that one. So I managed to now the top here with a 1% stop loss above, and then big sell-off right now. So yeah, I've got it coming down here. I don't know if it will go that low. That's just where I've got it, because I can always move the take profit up if I start to see a change of structure, but that's just what I've got right now for a nearly 24-to-1 account growth. So I'll be growing my account by nearly 25%, which would be a beauty off one trade. So right there you can see indecision doji and now big bearish engulfing. So a bit of an ugly looking candle there. And like I said, if we do fall out of that channel, something to keep an eye on. So I'm just going to unpack why I realized that we were starting to top out, and just a couple of things that are worrying me, and just things to keep an eye on, just so you're not blindsided. Again, it's always about preparation is the key to success. And if you know the potential scenarios, you'll never get blindsided. And I think a lot of people were blindsided by this because they were just in up-only mentality. And a week ago, that was the first time I wasn't up only. Since Trump came in, I had just been up only. And it wasn't until the other week that I said, guys, this is not going to be as difficult. This is going to be a bit more difficult. It's not going to be up only. Be prepared. And that's where then we had that massive drop in altcoins. And as you can then see, Bitcoin made a new high, but then altcoins didn't. But let me just unpack what it was I was seeing, just to see that we were looking for further downside. All right, so coming back to others here. So again, yeah, you can see we are making that new low, which is not a good little sign for now. So where we want it to come into is you want buyers to step in around this kind of zone here. All right, so we are wanting buyers to step in somewhere in this 325 to 265 zone. That is where we're looking for a nice potential zag zone. So ideally this 325 here, which might not happen, it might come lower, but yeah, definitely that fib 500 you can see also aligns with this major resistance support there. So that's probably the one I'd more iron off. I'm just going to do the fib extension off here as well, just to see where it's projected to go down to. Alright, so there's a lot of confluency at that one right there, so that 325, because you got the fib 101 and the 382, so I'll definitely be eyeing that off. If we do get some kind of, I'll be surprised if you don't at least get a bounce off there. Then what we don't want is then a lower high. But if we don't bottom there, I would definitely be eyeing off this zone here. And you can also see here massive confluence of the fib, the two golden ratios, 1.618 fib extension and fib. So worst case scenario is down there, which, you know, if you're still hodling, that could still be a decent downside move, like another 20 something percent on alts, and that's on the, you know, the pretty much the ETF of alts. So some of those individual ones could still drop another 30 to 50% depending on what you, and if we do get down that far. So hopefully we do bottom here. But again, this is just predictive TA. This is about just knowing where to look, and these are the areas that I look for reversal. So I'll be looking around that 325, that 292, and that 264. Now I'm just going to show you why I knew we were going to roll over back up here. Okay, so what I'm going to pull up here is the fear and greed index. And what this does is show you the crypto, and I'll go to the 4-hour just so we can zoom in a bit better. I'll get rid of these ones so you can see a lot clearer. Okay, and what I want to show you is I'm just going to take it back to where we were. Back to that date, December 18th. Oh, I won't do it on this one, sorry. Anyway, December 18th, you can see we're here. Okay, and you can see our fear and greed was up at around that 85, 87. So we were still very bullish. What I just want to show you here is in history, how whenever we have a first dip and we don't reset, you'll often get a second dip. So here, can you see how this drop here, it didn't reset sentiment, like we were still very bullish. Then we got the bounce up. Then it wasn't until the second drop where we reset sentiment and we came down to the kind of 50 zone. So fear and greed index is very similar to the RSI in the fact that when you're in a bullish market in the RSI, it will bounce between that kind of 80 and 40 zone, and it will just keep bouncing around here. Same thing with the fear and greed index. It will hover around the greed and the mid zone, this kind of 50 zone, and it will keep bouncing around here. So whenever you kind of get too greedy, it'll reset coming out, and that's where you get to buy the zag zone. I'll show you back at the last bull cycle and you'll be able to see it better. Okay, so this is back at, this is from the COVID low. So coming up, see how then we had the big crash here and then sentiment was still really bullish. It hasn't reset sentiment, which means people were still in buy the dip. So then they bought the dip, when I make it a little new high, and then you can see here, when it took out that low is where we then reset the sentiment, came back down to that kind of 40, 50 zone, just like with the RSI. Then we were able to reset sentiment. Then we were able to go up higher. And then we were bullish. Then we got up to extreme greed. We hovered up there for a while. And then same thing. We're still greed. And then can you see here, again on this one, see how you had your first big drop? It didn't reset sentiment enough. We were stuck in extreme fear. And it wasn't until the second drop when we took out that low that we then reset sentiment before going up again. Okay, so that's what we're looking for now. And that's what I had noticed on that first drop. People were still bullish, which means that we're not, if it's a major correction, because if we're zagging, correcting the whole move, it should reset sentiment, because that's what it does. It resets the whole move, which means if it's an ABC, that C wave should have capitulation. Okay, so it should capitulate the newbies and the people that have just come in. Right now, it was still buy the dip, we're going to the moon. Okay, and that wasn't enough to reset it. So then you can see here that was there, came up, and then here is where they're going, uh-oh, and they reset. Get out, flush out the newbies, and then we can go higher again. Okay, another example here. Then we had the next move up. First drop, see, was still buy the dip mentality. We're okay, buy the dip, we're all good. And it wasn't until the next drop that we reset sentiment. Everyone started getting fearful again. Okay, so that's what we're waiting for, that same kind of thing again. Again, the next one, first drop, didn't reset sentiment. Second drop, did reset sentiment. Okay, here, first drop, didn't reset sentiment. Second drop, did reset sentiment. So the A doesn't reset sentiment, the C does. What you've got to remember is how the markets move. It's all social mood. Okay, remember they're trying to get you guys on the wrong side of the market. So here on that A wave, you're not supposed to picture because people just think it's the trend continuing, but it's the C wave that will capitulate. That's what we're looking at now. Okay, so where we are right now, the A wave, as you can see, did not reset sentiment. A wave will not capitulate people. Then the B wave, everyone just assumes the trend is back on track. The C wave will see, we haven't reset yet, showing that we're probably not going to, unless we have a really quick rapid sell to this 325. It's more looking like the 290 to 267 here. This C wave will be the one that resets sentiment and capitulates people. Okay, we've got to get that capitulation, get all the new people that have just come in scared and going, why did you tell me to get in this thing? That's what we're after. Okay, so where we go, I've shown you the key levels with you got the fib extension with the fib retracement, key cluster zones. Keep an eye on those levels, which is that 325, give or take a few bill. This kind of 292, 290-ish, give or take 290, 295. Around there, and if it gets down low, which it might do to really capitulate people, is at 265. So what I then do is I've already identified those areas, which again, key preparation is the key to success. I'm relaxing, I'm sitting back, I've got nothing to worry about, and all I do is I do not buy until I get a reversal pattern off one of these with my blinkers on. Okay, so it's all about getting a key confirmation. The trend is your friend. Right now, the trend is down. As you can see, since Trump came in, which was right here, this thing has done nothing but be in an uptrend. Okay, that's an uptrend. So that's why it was buy the dip mentality. You should not be buying the dip right now because we are in a clear downtrend. Where you're looking to buy the dip is here, here, and here. These are your key zones that you're keeping an eye on. So you're not buying the dip now, you're not dollar cost averaging in. What you do is you wait for a reversal off these key zones, which is a change of market structure off one of them. Okay, ideally with your blinkers, which is divergent, lower in volume and weakening momentum as well. Hopefully then our sentiment has reset. We get our key mood indicator as well, which will then align with a capitulation bottom as well. All right, so that is what you're looking for when you do it. Another thing that I was looking at as to why there was more chance of coming out was liquidity. Okay, because at the end of the day, crypto, you have different exchanges. You have exchange A's and you have exchange B's. Exchange B's, they make money just off trading fees. They don't care if you win or lose. As long as you're buying and selling, they make money off your volume. That's it, okay? Off your trading fees. Unfortunately, the biggest exchanges in the crypto world are exchange A. And what that means is they not only take money off your trading fees, but they also make money off you losing. So what they're constantly doing is they're looking at where you guys have all of your stop losses and have all of your liquidity, and they will target that liquidity. So crypto goes to where the liquidity is because what they're trying to do is get you to lose. So unfortunately, these big exchanges like Binance and that, they're actually out to get you. And that's what you probably don't realize is it's you against them. Okay, so they're constantly thinking how they can wreck you as a retailer and get your money off you because that's their whole goal. The whole goal is to get your trading fees and to make you blow up your account and lose, which seems silly because you think they'd want you to hang around and the longer you're around the trend, but it's not how it works, unfortunately. Okay, so it's obviously changed now, but at the time, there was a lot more of this liquidity to the downside than there was on the upside. Okay, so as you can see now, there's actually the other way around. There's more up here from 98,000 above. There's more liquidity now the upside than there is to the downside. That's just off the 1 day. But if you zoom out to the 7 day and even bring it out to the 30 day, you can start to see where there's a lot of liquidity. So you can see there is a lot of liquidity down here around this $92,000, $93,000. This has obviously changed since then because we've already gone down and broken that level. So back when I did this a couple of days ago, there was 90% of the volume to the downside and only about 10% to the upside. So again, knowing that they're trying to get your money, your liquidity, what are they going to do? They're going to drive it down before driving it up. Okay, so they went and got most of it, which was down at those high 90s. There is also still a lot down towards the low 90s and high 80s as well. So they've done a one flush out. Will they come down and get a bit further again? Yet to be seen. But again, back when I did this video a couple of days ago, it was very one-sided, as in there were a lot of longs and not many shorts, and money goes where the liquidity is. So again, it's always important to look where the liquidity is. What are the chances? Again, it's always about probabilities. And again, you don't just look at this, go, oh, there's liquidity there, we're going there. It's all about knowing that that's a possibility, and then waiting for your change of market structure, or waiting for your massive sell signals or buy signals to act on that. Okay, so it's all about having your predictive TA and then using your reactive TA to act on that. And this is where a lot of Elliott Wave people get a lot of stick, because those, oh, you're always changing accounts, and because they don't understand how Elliott Wave work. It's all about predictive TA. It's just like you have a weather app. Okay, so your weather app, what it does is use all of its past data to predict what they think the future data will do. Okay, so it's kind of just going off past data to predict future. So obviously, if it's saying it's going to rain and you go outside and it's clear blue skies and there's not a cloud in the sky, you don't then go, oh, but the weather app said it's going to rain, so I'm going to wear a raincoat today. No, obviously as more data's come out, then it's changed. Okay, and that's the same principles you've got to have with trading as well. As you can predict what you think is going to happen, what the high probabilities are, but as more data comes out, that might change. And this was a prime example of this. I thought the bottom was in, but then as we bounced and I saw, oh, sentiment didn't reset, oh, we're coming up on lower in volume, oh, there's a lot more liquidity to the downside than upside, oh, we're getting to change our market structure at a key level, then the data came out and said, actually, this is not the bottom, we're getting another leg down. Okay, and that's what you've always got to remember. You've always got to be adaptable and ready to change. Because if you're not adaptable and you get stuck in the way, then you're going to lose money, because there is no egos in trading and investing. You've got to make sure that you just follow the unbiased data. Okay, on top of that, a couple of other key charts I'm looking at is your tether dominance. And again, this hasn't hit my level that I'm targeting. So you can see up here. All right, so we put in a double bottom. This, until it hits at least this 4.4%, I don't think the bottom's in. So we've got to come up here to this 4.4, possibly that 4.8. Again, this will depend if we hit the 425 billion in altcoins or that lower target we're here. But somewhere in this box is where I'm looking to buy my crypto again. Okay, what I had identified was a bottom here, double bottom, and we're going to get, again, that was another reason as well. Okay, so again, bottom's not in yet, but it will come soon, somewhere here to here as well. If we get above that 4.82, that's where I get kind of a bit scared, to be honest, because I'd then wonder, why aren't we buying off that zag zone? So you can see here, major support will become resistance on the zag zone, fib 382, and then here, this is your next major support, which will be at the fib 618, which will also align with your downtrend. Okay, so yeah, we shouldn't really get through here. If we do, we shouldn't get through that 4.8. Otherwise, I get a little bit worried. And I just want to show you now, and I'll show the USDC dominance as well. So same thing, talked about back here that we're going to get a bounce and then a move up. Obviously, crypto moves a lot faster than my line. I have to remember that. But again, bit more further upside to here as well. And again, major support line with the zag, major support along with the zag. That 618 is calling my name more than the 425 bill, which is why I think there's actually a bit more of a drop first. So I just feel like it's going to come up to here before coming. So just be careful to really reset that sentiment a bit more. that's showing more move up to the zag zone here as well. Looking at your others as well, there's just a few things I want to show you with this one as well. So let me just get rid of this now, bring up my RSI. I'm just going to change to the weekly. Just a couple of other things, just saying, you know, I'm not in a rush to buy the dip until I get major kind of confirmation as well. Is from here, the other thing no one's been prepared is we could be rejecting the B wave pocket here as well. So from here going down, we have come up, let me just get out of log. We have come up to our perfect B wave pocket here and rejected it. So the other thing is this could be a running flat where you come down, come up B wave, and then come down before going up. So just something else I noticed there, that we are made a new high into the B wave pocket on bearish divergence as well on the weekly. So just something else that I noticed is not really in a rush to buy the dip unless the reactive data tells me to buy it. But I'm not just throwing my money away until the data kind of tells me to get in. So don't like that B wave pocket rejection on the bearish divergence. And then same on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin on bearish divergence as well has rejected a key fib extension as well at the fib 101. So fib extension from here up to the top of wave 3 down the 4, and you can see we've rejected the fib 101 target here as well. So just a key, and we're putting in a bearish engulfing on bearish divergence. So just another kind of thing just making me be like, you know what, I'm just a couple of big time frame at key fib extension levels that I'm just a bit worried about, and then just sentiment not being reset yet. For me, I'm not rushing in to buy the dip. I'm out. I'm Tether. I've got one short going right now on Bitcoin, and until the reactive data tells me otherwise, I'm relaxing. Okay, and sometimes doing nothing and, you know, not over trading and not doing too much is actually going to save you more money than trying to keep buying the dip, come buy the dip, come buy the dip. Just wait and relax. You know, this was something I did back here in March, and again, I didn't know if that was going to be the day that wherever it was, but it wasn't until I got the buy signal, which was back then in September, and I missed out on all the chop here. Again, there could be some form of chop now for a few weeks, months even maybe. I don't know. So, and because I don't know, I'm not going to pretend to know, which means that I play defense until it tells me to play offense again. Okay, so for now, I'm playing defense and I'm looking for opportunities in those areas. But again, that doesn't mean I just allocate my capital as soon as we get there. It means that they're the areas that I will look for changes in market structure and look for buy zones. Hopefully we get it, but if we don't, then then I sit and wait, and my short's making me money in the background. So I haven't touched my long term. My long term is still completely untouched. However, my trading and my swing account are Tether. Okay, so I'm out. And just so you know, I'm not just saying that now that I've talked about it. I'll pull up messages I've talked about with MTM students. So here's me on Monday talking about the link short, which would have been a beautiful 40-1 trade, but unfortunately backfired. Here's Craig talking about the fact that, you know, he was seeing it come in, and this is what the students often say, is that when we're both aligned, often it's almost a sure bet. So he was seeing the weakness as well. I then was definitely seeing it as well, and it was just all stars align. So this was me just again reminding them, be very careful in crypto. I'm seeing more downside, as mentioned on yesterday's call. I'm in Tether with one short on. Okay, so I had the Wednesday at midday call with my students, and I talked about the fact that, guys, I'm Tether. I'm just not liking it. I'm seeing another move down. I pretty much went through what I've just gone through here on YouTube with you guys, and just said why exactly I'm doing it. And then, funnily enough, about whatever it was, 4, 5, 6 hours later. That was after that message, but 24 hours later, because the call was Wednesday midday, they did the cut rate, and then everything started to fall off. Okay, but the chart led the news. We were seeing the weakness in the charts before. Again, why? You got to remember, they're announcing that to the public on that date. there's a lot of people in high places that are in the know that get that information before we get that information. Okay, obviously they make their decision, they have their meeting, they tell their friends, they tell the people in power, they can make strategic moves before they release it to all of us. So you've got to remember there's people in the know that get this information before we do, and they will act it, which is why often the chart will lead the news before it comes out. Okay, so yeah, from there, we've obviously had our drop, and you now know my key levels from there to keep an eye on. So I hope that video helps, guys. Sorry to be the bearer of a bit of short-term bad news. It's not, long-term. I'm not saying this is a major top. It could be, but I'm not saying it is yet. I'm just saying that we're at some key fib extensions showing some weaknesses, and I've now shown you the key levels where I'm looking for buyers to step in. Okay, so I predicted where I think they will, and then when it gets there, I'll be following the data to react there when it gets there. Okay, so all we can do is follow the data and react from there. So let's see how we go. If it gets real bad, what I'd be looking for with Bitcoin is, we haven't had a retracement on Bitcoin yet. Maybe this does come down to this 85 to 72K zone. Maybe it does get some kind of move down to here. I would only start to look real bad, as in it's a major top, if we start the breakthrough here. So if we start the breakthrough that 72, I would then ask why they're not buying off the zag zone. Okay, because every other time we have bought off the zag zone. Here we got bought off the 382. Here we got bought off the fib 500. Okay, so then now I would then go, if they're not buying off there, that something's changed. And then once you've done that, just your basic kind of trend lines, etc. as well. You're breaking through your trends, back off, you're not buying off your zag zone. Why did we break that resistance on bearish divergence and things like that? So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. We are in the excess phase, so it is a possibility, because that's your accumulation, retrace, that's your public, retrace. This could be your excess phase and done. I don't think it will be. I think you're going to have more. I think this is going to go higher. But again, you've got to be open to the possibility. We know that we're in the fifth wave on bearish divergence. It is a possibility. So, but again, I do not go there until we break below that kind of level there. But again, I don't have to worry about it, because that's only where I would start to exit some of my long term. So I don't have to worry about my trading account and swing account, because I'm already in cash from that. And then I put that back to work if I get reversals off those key levels. Or if we get further down, something down around here, and it's only would I start to lock in some profit in the long term if we started to break back below some kind of key levels here as well. Something that I'm really looking at is something like Sol, because that's been the leader in the space for the altcoins, and this is Sol against Bitcoin. And then here, if we start breaking below this level here, that's where then I start to ask, well, hang on, why is Sol changing microstructure against Bitcoin when we're in a bull run? Okay, so that would definitely worry me if we broke below there, things like that. So I'm just keeping an eye on that as well, just to see, if we start to, hopefully it just does a little liquidity grab those shorts, and then come up. And again, this is Sol to Bitcoin pair, remember? But yeah, we definitely don't want it to fall below there and get past some key levels here as well. So yeah, just keep an eye on, guys. My situation. I just treat crypto like a sector. When the sector's bullish, I'm there. I did not trade it from March till September. I've been in it from September till now. And now I'm just sitting on the sidelines again until I get my buy signals again. So hopefully they come in earlier than expected, but I'm just waiting. So the surf has been amazing. I've had some great trades, as you guys have seen. And now the surf's looking a bit shitty for a little while. I'm just going to sit and then look elsewhere. And then if it starts to come back, I'll let you know, and I'll come back in again. All right, guys, take care. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care, everyone.